We're recording. I feel like I should move closer to the mic. That
Me
always
too.
makes me feel like that way I feel like I'm actually doing the thing. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I can't compete with Ashley's voice. He's
Good
giving you that
afternoon.
deep rusty. He's giving
Good
you that
afternoon,
deep and
everyone.
nasty. Oh, there we
Welcome.
go. Ah, you feel that bass?
Welcome to wherever the fuck this is going to be.
You feel that bass? That is Ashley. Last
That's
name.
what they used to call me in uni.
Ashley, I know. I realize this about me. I like calling people by the thing that like other people don't call them. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe that just speaks to my my narcissistic traits.
That's just
I never said I was a orator. I don't know, girl. We're just
greater.
pushing through. We're pulling through. How are you, Ash?
That's a very big question.
I did not expect that question. I love you, Houston.
I love
As a Beyonce reference. For the girls who know.
What? Say your jokes at one time, girl.
No, keep up.
No, it's because you always give like a 2-second break where I think, okay, you finished, and then you haven't.
I'm never finished.
That's what they
You
used
need
to
to
call
hit
you
me
at uni.
twice. You need to hit me twice in the head. You gotta make sure I'm out.
Oh no, not Resident Evil.
Double shot. That's what you gotta do. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep being me. But yes, okay, I'm gonna shut up. You now answer the question that I volleyed your way. What of 6?
The one 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that one.
How am I? I'm good. I have different layers of different things. Superficially, fine. Deeper level could always do with more money. Deeper level than that, this is probably the prime time for me to unpick a lot of the shit that has not been unpicked in my life.
Uh-huh.
I feel like maybe you get to your late 30s and the building is high enough now that you can't risk having shit foundations. If your foundations are shit, but you haven't really got much built on top of them, it's easy to ignore that sort of stuff. But
Sure.
you build something of a significant height and you start going, for me to continue to have something or do things that I'm proud of and that I aspire to, I really need to make sure that I am bringing my best self to all of these ventures. Otherwise, I'm going to start to fuck them up. Sometimes it's not like your ability or your intelligence or your dedication. It's like your fear of success and your self-sabotage. So that's how I am. Fine, could do with more money. Mild existential roundabouting.
Oh, we're spiraling. We're doing the whole... It's limbo time in Ashley's head.
Oh no. That is so far from what a spiral in my head sounds like.
Oh, that's good. You know what? I hope you're not spiraling. I know. I feel a lot of your same ways. I don't know. We've been talking, even though we've not been on the air for a while. We talk every week. The girls don't know that about us. We're like real friends. We're not just like professional colleagues. We like keep in touch. We send each other like packages and stuff. It's really cute. Stupid. But yeah, summertime is not my season personally. This is my season of depression. I think we were talking about this earlier. We had a call and we were like, oh, let's just stop talking now and just finish the catch up recording. And we were talking about the seasons as British people do. And I was saying how I'm really excited for winter, and that really set you to a rant, an angry soliloquy about how you can't stand people like me.
You say that, but it didn't. It did. Of course it didn't. You like hyperbole.
You insult me in front of my people?
Case in point. Thank you for the assist. Everybody has to feel differently about stuff. I get that. You were talking to me about how you didn't like summer, but that's because you came from a very hot place where the heat was non-stop and oppressive. And it might have changed our base reference about how we saw heat and things like that.
Yeah, I think you're also saying something about how, like, in the UK, especially, it's not really built for anything.
Not even built. I think people always say the excuse of it's not built for anything. The reality is, it's not really good at anything. It's not good at anything. Weather-wise, nothing really extreme happens. Because you said that really sweet thing about imagining snow, and you'd watched all these TV programs where there was snow and snowmen and people being cold, and you literally couldn't imagine being that cold. I don't think that fantasy was built on winter in Slough. I think that's like Minnesota winters or some shit when they're getting like 6 foot of snow and you can jump full. You jump into it full bodied and it leaves a little outprint of you, and that not just like the central line is delayed by 55 minutes because it's -3 and half a cup of slush got onto the line, and now you have to stand amongst all of these other jankros here.
Yeah, I get you. You're right. I do hold on to that kind of pastoral. It was, I think the reference I made was talking to you was like Archie comics, those winter issues of Archie comics that I would read, and they'd all be dressed and really bundled up in their wools and like walking around in the snow, making snowmen. And I was like, couldn't even imagine it being that cold or just like having snow or never being cold enough to snow. But I guess that makes me receive it better than most people, or maybe the reverse of most people. But I get like really optimistic around winter. But I'm like a winter baby. Like that sort of means, oh, my birthday's coming up.
And that's exactly.
So maybe that's what it is. Well, I like getting cozy. You know me, I'm a cashmere sweater over the shoulder by a fireplace. Sexy. No, I would not wear cashmere. Please don't come after me. Reclaimed, vintage, whatever. Leave me alone. Well, that's the fantasy for me.
I'm naked and wearing a protest sign for the environment.
PETA, love you, PETA.
Love PETA.
Love PETA. Never watched the Hunger Games. But yeah, no, I love winter. I get more productive around winter as well. And I guess that kind of precipitated my slowing down. Not really slowing down. I've still been working on like podcast things, but like the feed has slowed down while I've been like kind of compiling episodes, because that's the nice thing about summer. There's a lot of events and a lot of things and a lot of energy and a lot of people with a bit more time on their hands. So you get like the chance to bank a bunch of episodes and recordings. And when we were talking, I was like, oh, this might be a good chance to like go into what we've been doing, give people a little catch up and also a bit of a look ahead as to what we were planning. But also burnout is very real. I've been hitting it hard for a while and been very burnt out. And then like I got food poisoning a couple of days ago, and that kind of laid me up right when like I just exited the burnout and was about to start working. And that kind of grounded me for 2 days, and I was just like, fuck. Because if you give me an excuse, I'll be like, oh, I have to stay in bed.
See, this is where that cozy mentality gets you.
It does.
This is why you need to start loving summer, bitch. Because if you do, that duvet will be the last thing from your mind. You'll see that duvet, and that duvet will mean.
It's just like the summer heat. It just makes me really tired. It's probably psychological, really. I think it just reminds me of growing up. Also, now I live by the sea, so it's really humid here. So it gets very similar. Yeah, but I do get it. I have my moments in the summer. I go to the events. God, I went to 3 prides this year. Jesus Christ.
But sorry, I didn't want to derail you. You were talking about burnout and feeling a little bit burnt out and getting lured into the covers if you had a reason to stop. So please do carry on.
Yeah. But like that, and so that kind of like burnout comes to me really hard around the summer. Maybe because I get really productive around the winter and towards fall. I kind of start doing more things. I get more active, have more ideas. And then this is like the time of year where I'm just like, all right, just slow down. I'm on a very school mentality still, you know? But
so how are you feeling now? Are you still in that?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just getting over food poisoning. I'm feeling better. And like today's the first day where I wasn't walking around just feeling nauseous all the time. So that's really nice. And so I'm ready to get back to work. And I don't know, I've had a lot of ideas. There's a lot of things that I want to get done by the end of the year, just like podcast wise, but just in general in terms of production and stuff. I'm trying to also not put too much pressure onto myself to meet any specific goals that are really exhausting. I'm trying to find a good balance between doing that. And also I'm trying to also figure out how to grow what I want to do next. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel generally excited. I'm just excited to see where I can take it. I just hope I have it in me to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you about having it in you.
Because there's always that thought in the back of my head. I was like, am I just delusional? Am I just like I'm just talking? Yes, I am.
But that's nobody says that's wrong. Nobody says that's bad, and
Mm,
nobody says that's not necessary. I don't. There's nothing that you can see from buildings to streets to bridges to roads that anything that we made and enjoy, anything worth making and worth enjoying has to go through a kind of stage of delusion,
mm,
because who's to say everyone has to be a little bit deluded to create anything good.
mm.
I
Yeah,
think
no, that's
that's
true.
necessary. And to be honest, that like we, I get self-doubt, but I also know
Mm,
that we are part of the cringe era. We are brain rotted by constant public discourse about absolutely low-level pedestrian things. And I think
mm,
we're asking ourselves, like, am I delusional? Is this cringe? Is this what? Is this what? In a way that it becomes really like stagnating. Do you
mm.
know what I mean? Yeah, be delusional. Be fucking delusional.
Yeah, I just more so it's am I being delusional about my own capacity to just do things? I'm a tired ass bitch.
Okay, all right.
You gotta. I'm just trying to like push myself.
Forget that little monologue then. Yeah, maybe you are. Maybe it's
See, you respond the correct way. Not enough people in my life respond that way because what I need is a nemesis. What I need is someone to fight. That encourages me. So thank you.
it's just all right.
But how about you? What's been going on with you pod-wise? I was yelling at you earlier. I was just like, bitch, I know you got episodes. Why are they not on your feed?
Bitch,
What is
bitch, I know you got episodes. It was
you
whiplash.
the
Yeah.
episode man? I came to the episode man. And I was like, get me some episodes, bitch.
Yeah, it was the geekiest shakedown I've ever experienced.
It was. And you know what? I stand 10 toes down. Bitch, where are my
Um,
episodes?
I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for saying it.
Tell me what. Tell me why. You told me earlier, but I think people deserve to know where you're at with everything and also what's in your head.
Oh, basically, every foundation of my life changed. Every 6 months, a new fundamental would change.
Hmm.
So, yeah, my parents aren't together anymore, which took a little bit of reworking. Took a job, got into a sort of legal situation in a job I was at. This wasn't my fault. I just realized that could be really vague. It's like, so I was embezzling.
Embezzle.
I was, just for clarity, I was not embezzling. But yeah, then my 16-year relationship came to an end,
Hmm.
and I started a new job.
Life shit.
Life shit. Life shit.
Mm.
And so now I'm doing a lot of rebuilding things and rediscovering things. And on top of that, the comics are not good. That's also one of the fundamentals. Like, as much as I can be like, oh, life always happens. And life was happening before, but the comics were so good that they were helping me to navigate that stuff, or at least providing like
Mm.
a nice distraction from the busyness of life, because all of that stuff was brewing,
Yeah.
but comics were amazing and it gave me like a nice escape. These comics are not an escape. This is just like walking from the kitchen that is a shithole to the front room that is a shithole and be like, why did I leave the kitchen?
Okay, I think a lot of people will empathize with what you're saying, aside from the life shit, but also like the comics shit. So,
Yeah.
what the hell we gonna do now?
What the hell are we going to do now? Woo. A lot going on.
I think that's a valid question, though. So I think I
It
don't know. You
is.
and I have been talking about this for a while, and like we returned to this. But then, what does X of Words transform into?
So one of the reasons why it kind of ground to a halt was because I always said that I never wanted it to be like a hater platform. I never wanted
Hmm.
it to be like a grievance podcast where like I would hate read shit. Yeah, but it just didn't really feel like a smart thing to do mental health wise. And also making these episodes takes a lot of time, man. You got
Yeah.
to really invest, and I can't invest that much time and effort into something that I hate. And my professional
Mm.
history and my maximum 4 year long job tenure is indicative of that. There's nowhere in my life where I can pull off doing things that I hate for long periods of time.
Hmm. Aside from this friendship,
Yeah, I do hate you. I hate you so deeply.
and I'm
Um,
okay with that. As you were, continue your point.
Yeah, man. So that's all.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've been like pitching you ideas about, but I keep saying that I think X and Word should continue to expand because that's, I have more fun with episodes where like you're talking about different ass shit, Absolute Wonder Woman, when you keep going. And I know you got like some a backlog of episodes as well that like you are ready to release whatever.
I know you got them episodes, bitch.
I know you, I'm shaking you down.
Come up off them episodes.
But no, genuinely, I feel like I get that though, like having ego get in the way. I like you've listened to my episodes. I really
Ego
like
get in the way.
ego does get in the way, but like, you've listened to my episodes. Like I really edit down
You
everything and then I add
do.
things, and I enjoy doing that. But that's partly because I like to have control over like I want the thing that I had in my head when I make it to sound exactly like it.
Yeah. You're
And
very good
but
at that
then
though.
thank you. And I'm getting better at it, I feel, and I enjoy doing it. But I think that does mean I go away, take breaks. But also, I do want to. One thing on the top of my head has been like, I want to find new ways to just like be able to put more things out because this kind of semi scheduled monthly thing has been nice. But for some reason or somehow I can end up doing some kind of weekly thing or even like bi-weekly thing. I feel like that would be nice, but I think I don't know, that will take a lot of different things to move around and for me to also find a different way of working it because like the main just the way I do things, it does take me a lot of time.
It's
Yeah,
worth it. It's worth it because your podcast sounds incredible, and it
thank
made
you. And
me.
I
It
don't want that.
inspired me to be much, much better, and I'm sure it will inspire loads of people who listen to it to
Oh,
raise their levels.
hopefully people enjoy it, and I don't want to let that quality slip
Yeah.
really. Yeah, but I do want to actively think up of ways of having another aspect, and I don't know, maybe something else people will like that won't take me as much time to put together. Maybe this episode in itself that we're doing right now is like a bit of an experiment where it's like a dropped call. I'm just going to minor in terms of just like sound quality and then
Yeah.
just drop it as it is. I'm not going to add anything or take away anything. And I don't know, maybe that would be good. I don't know. It's another way I think of maybe evolving the podcast because I think with the last episode I put out, which was
Yeah.
a really big project for me, Ancient Hatreds is one that I've been like holding on to for over a year since I recorded it because I wanted
Mhm.
to shape it correctly and I also wanted to release it when I felt like the correct time. I needed a little break after putting that episode out because I was like, I just need to not do this for a little bit because there was a lot of feelings I put into that episode. And also, really, the first time I did that on the podcast where I felt like I was letting myself just talk and be seen and not
Mm.
really editing myself as much as I would and my feelings into because I have that weird thing about be an observer. I don't know. I got really good
It was really
comments and
good.
everything.
It was really good.
Thank you. I got good comments and everything from people, but I want to do more of that. I want to do more of that and have that find a home here somewhere. I want to keep evolving.
I think you should because as
Mm,
somebody who knows you and speaks to you regularly, I can see the ways that you polish and edit yourself.
mm.
Like I hear the if I was to edit, I'd know exactly which bits of your sentences to
I
remove.
want out. That's great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I get what
so.
you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah, I know the same way. When I listen to you feature on other podcasts that where you've been edited, I
Mm.
feel like, oh, I know how Ashley speaks.
Yeah,
And I
so
know that something was cut out there or something was added there or
yeah.
and to me that's like a fun exercise. But I get what you're saying. But yeah,
Do you
it's
think? Do
hard
you
for
think?
me to expose myself that way. I really do find it difficult.
No, but there's a difference between talking and sharing, and I think as
Hmm.
a host, it's really easy to just retreat into talking
Hmm.
because you're responsible for where you drive, the thing you've got your hands on the steering wheel. You're asking some of the questions, you're doing some of the framing,
Hmm.
and so you can retreat into the meta narrative of it of, oh, what's the next thing I'd like to encourage as a discussion point,
Hmm.
or what topics do I think we should talk about, or where do I know this person really likes something, or where do I know their interest or their passion is, and how do we get there, a part of the thing, you're a conductor instead of an instrument, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to just be an instrument. And
Hmm.
so I wonder how you're going to feel when you edit this and you hear yourself on this being quite open.
Yeah, I that's why I don't think I'm going to really I'm gonna be double speeding it until the end, unless I've
Yeah.
said something that is really bad, which I don't think I have reason to.
This is true.
I should be like fine. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'm not even gonna edit it. I think I'm just gonna add something in the intro and whatever, and then just put it out there and just
Go
see how
on.
that feels. See how
Yeah.
long I allow myself to keep it up. But yeah, hey, this is an
You'll
experiment,
never be
right?
able to do it. You'll never be able to do it. You will never be able to press that button. You won't be able to
I
post it.
will.
You won't be.
I know what you're doing. This is like reverse. I am not a rugrat. Don't reverse psychology me. Shut up. But yes, I don't know. I'll be excited to hear back from people. Whoever's listening as we speak out into the ether, let us know how you like this vibe. If so, there might be a space for us to, I don't know, keep doing this. Maybe we can do this semi regularly and see how that goes.
Yeah, jumpstart each other.
Exactly. No promises though.
No.
I can barely stand this bitch week from week, so we'll see how it goes. Let's see. You tell us how you feel. But yeah, I think aside from that, aside from those are like my burnout feelings and also like your current questions about
And you know what? I think in the way that you double down in referential on like sound
Mhm.
quality and the sound landscape of every episode,
Mhm.
I double down on formats.
Yeah.
So your episodes sound incredible, every one.
But
Mine,
each one is different, my episodes. That's the other thing. Yours, you like a format. And
I had 12 formats. I had
you get
the
bored easily. You have ADHD, man.
Yeah, I had the versus format. We had the voting format. We had the come up with an idea format. We had the strategy episodes. We had the one-on-one episodes. We had the this. And there was just so much.
I think that is great, to be honest. I think you should keep making new formats and just do them for 5 episodes and then change it up again. I think that'll be fucking wild. I love that.
But that was one of the things that fucked with the creative petrol of it as well, because
Mm.
the podcast can only ever be as complicated as the comics are good. Suddenly, the spark, the fire, which was powering all of those. Do you know what I mean? It's like a battery, basically. So I had 6 different types of things hooked up to this one battery, and then
Mm.
from the ashes is not an effective battery.
I
Suddenly,
get it. So,
but it's just about finding new shit to hook it up to, but also, and this is what I've come down to come to now, starting small again. Because
mhm.
the big thing was, obviously there was a couple of months where I wasn't in a space to make anything. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, you were
I
dealing with life.
Yeah, I couldn't make anything. So I was the block for a while.
Mhm.
But now that my energy is coming back in a real way, because I tried before, I kept going, yeah, I'm back. I kept trying to squeeze more water out of the towel. But then I was like, actually, you just need to fucking stop. And you just need to fucking stop for a bit. But now the energy's come back. Instead of me trying to light up everything,
Mhm.
I'll just start small again. So that's why I did this, because this was actually, I think, a really perfect idea of just getting back into it.
Yeah, just
It's like
doing something.
sitting in front and having a bullshit conversation and connecting with how fun it was and why. And yeah, instead of being
Yeah,
like,
we started doing it.
yeah,
Yeah. And like also, you know me in terms of pitching ideas. I'm always ready to volley a couple of ideas. As you were speaking, I had about 6 there. I was like about things you should do. But
I know.
I do get that thing you're saying about starting small and just doing and going and just remembering what it is you enjoy about doing this. That's always a really good place to return to. But you know what? I do actually want to move us to that topic. I think we've swallowed for a while here.
What? Why are you speaking to me like a sitcom black mother?
This is how I speak, Ashley.
Why?
But no, genuinely, I do want to move us to talk about that because I want to keep this to a specific
Okay.
time.
But I think sometimes we have a conversation that I think is quite vulnerable and quite honest. And in summarizing it, I think you're a bit harsh. Like we wallowed.
Uh,
I don't think we were wallowing at all. I think like we were talking.
uh.
That's fine. And then but earlier you were like, oh, all this like being ego driven. I was like, I don't think that's being ego driven.
Here's the thing: I don't use those words with the intention like of negative. To be honest, this is just like how I describe them. To me, there's not
Okay.
much feeling into them.
Oh, wallow is quite an evocative word.
I am a linguist. I am an oralist. I am known for my tongue.
Okay, all right,
Let
okay.
me just realize
There was
I
there was a
regret
couple of
that. I
those.
regret that.
We're
I
now in a
regret
different.
that
We're in a
one.
different fucking.
No, but Jen, I see your point. I see your point. Maybe not wallow then. I do think that we talked about our blockages, right? But what we're trying to get down to, really,
Yeah,
or at least what I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to get down to, is that we're in a place where like we're moving past those things that were like stopping us from
yeah.
just being productive or even just having the time to do it. And but what I'm trying to say is that like we have been talking also about all the ideas that we've had about just things that we individually have been wanting to do with the podcast. So far, I've been going this notion of I just want to keep it to myself and I don't want to until it's ready and then I'll put it out. But I don't think that actually makes much sense or is worth the effort because I often found like just speaking and sharing like the things that I'm excited about, enjoy usually is like the funner thing. So
Yeah.
I want us to also talk about the things that we want to do with the pod. And because I have a lot of things that I have been tinkering with that I'm not ready to like share as like a
Mhm.
piece yet, but it would be nice for people to know what they are.
I think that's a good idea.
So tell me like, so aside from this episode, what is in your head the next episode that you want to put out extroverts?
Oh, okay. So I read a lot of other stuff, not always for very long, but sometimes I read first issues of things that I really like.
Mm,
And maybe for myself, I think I want to do hyper short episodes that are just me recommending
mm,
10 titles to read,
mm,
which might be good wherever they are. I like that 10 thing because otherwise it's quick and it also stops me from trying to overthink, not overthink, but like I sometimes I can overdevelop or overcomplicate things.
mhm,
And so 10 has been a really instructive, refining paradigm for me because it's I just have to do this in as simpler way as I can. And then also I realized that saying that I didn't want to say anything negative or didn't want this to become a grievance platform is reductive a bit.
mhm,
So I'm going to let myself say whatever the fuck I want to say and I'll try to keep the balance. But separating it became a blocker because isn't that me going, I don't want this to become a grievance platform eventually evolved into I don't want to criticize anything here
I can't say anything now.
unduly. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I didn't want to be negative or like, it didn't seem fun. But actually,
Mhm,
sometimes there's energy in saying some shit. And I can
mhm.
let myself do that. It doesn't mean I have to do it all the time. And I'll
I
definitely keep a
think
check on the balance.
And I think especially during this time in I was reading this thing yesterday talking about the state of music critique in the industry, the music criticism industry, about how like people aren't receptive to its critiques and everybody's giving like a high score to the album that is coming out from like the pop star that you expect to get a high score. You know what I mean? I was just like thinking about, yeah, we don't really have people talking about like the things that they don't like and breaking apart why they don't like it and why they think this is bad and what about it they think is good or could be good, but it's not going there. And part of that is like that stan culture mentality. Speaking of conversations we've had, I remember calling you the other day just to have a little
Oh,
rant
yeah.
because
That wasn't a conversation. Babes.
that
That
was
wasn't a
just me
conversation.
yelling
Yeah.
at the phone,
Yeah. You
just like
called
in
me. You spoke for
annoyance.
12 minutes straight. You breathed 4 times and then you hung up.
Tell them why. It's okay. You can tell them why. I was annoyed because it seemed like there was like Storm fans fighting people who had critiques about the current book that is The Storm Solo by Mariwa Ayadale. And I was just really annoyed because I was just like, wait, so we can't say anything? Should I just be silenced? And I
I
was just like, I'm not even being that harsh. Like, what is going on? And I
yeah.
was just like, really, I've just lately been really rebuffing and just feeling really annoyed by the stan energy about just not just within comics. I'm in a lot of fandoms and I love a lot of different things and I like reading critique, but like that stan energy that shows up whenever someone has just like an outsider critique or just like a critique that just like steps out of the masses and like
Yeah.
why the way that conversation is being stifled because that is something that is new and now we're like in a situation like, how can we critique things? Who is allowed to critique things? And I feel
Exactly.
like people are losing that
Yeah.
skill. People are forgetting, and that's going to take us to a very bad situation. And I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was talking. Why did I talk about this? How did I get on this?
You posted a tweet and somebody didn't
Mm.
like it. And I
Oh
think instead of grabbing them by their edges, you came to grab me by my edges on my personal phone in my evening. And that's that's what
yeah.
happened.
It's
No, you didn't
because
go.
I don't fight with people online. I don't do that. I'm not that girl. I'm sorry. I don't see
And
a need.
I used to before people got
Uh,
real stupid.
and they're real stupid now. They're
Now I'm
so
just like, that is so stupid. That's the stupidest thing. The only thing stupider than what you've said is me
Mm.
responding to it. Like, that is it. That's it. If a
This,
child came up and went
uh,
ooga booga and shit on the floor, yo, why would I then pull down my pants to shit on the floor next to you?
yeah, it just seems like stupid energy to waste. And you know what? I have a cat.
You can take that whole shit out as well. I don't know why I said that shit, but you can.
Maybe we'll see.
Fuck you.
But yeah, no. But genuinely, why did I start talking about the Stan Wars?
Okay, because we were talking about being able to critique things, and my last point on that was that actually, I think X of Words, I think it has to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? At a time, I was just like, I don't like these books, but ultimately, I don't know enough about these books to critique them in fullness yet. So let me just not say anything before I really know. And then I was like, oh, let me just speak about the things that I like. But then that became just avoiding things. And actually, that was a whole other fucking lesson about avoidance. So
Yeah, yeah.
no avoidance, integration. Sometimes be a hater.
Yeah, I think that thank you for returning me to my point. Yeah, I think the X words I think is a great place to critique that. To just critique because like people aren't doing that anymore. So please add that energy and we need your perspective and the perspective of your guests who are coming on because I want people with opinions. We need people with fucking opinions about these things. Otherwise we're gonna be stuck in the pits. Pull us out. Pull me out. But also, you know what? I think I just had this random idea. I was like, I think you should like also go back to old eras. I think that'd be fun to see X of Words take on, I don't know, the Fraction Run or X
Oh,
of Words takes on Inferno. I think that would be like really fun. I want to know what like you guys think about it.
okay, all right. It's always an option. It is always an option. It is always an option.
Does that make it sound like a doomsday option? Jesus Christ.
All right, you know what? We're at 40 minutes. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, yeah. So,
Yeah.
final question.
Oh, there's
So,
another question. I was just
yeah,
like, you
last
said you were
thing.
going to do like a really quick edit, and I was like, this is 40 minutes, Khalid. This is.
Yeah, but I can do it a quick head off 40 minutes. Don't worry about it. But what I was going to say is I do genuinely want to know what are actual episodes that you have on the pipeline?
Oh, there's a Stephanie Williams episode that I have been sitting on for about a year because I wanted to get it right. And I was super nervous about posting it and what people would think, and especially what she would think, because I think she's awesome. And that just meant I was holding it. And then there was loads of other blockers. What else? There's loads of other episodes. There's just things in there that I need to post. I don't even, can I remember? There's just good stuff in there. And sometimes the worst is I've got like a backlog of maybe 10, 15 episodes. And I go and I listen to them and I go, this was so much fun. That was such a good time. And so it's not the episodes themselves or the guests, because all of those were excellent. All of those are some of the funnest things, that some of my most fun, cherished little memories. It's just the admin around it. It's the admin around it, and whether I had the time personally, emotionally, professionally to sit down and spend the 4 hours that it takes to move that from 2 MP3 files to an actual episode at the end. And now
Yeah.
that I know how to pay my mortgage on a single income, and I've got a different job, and family wise, we're all right. That's something that's available now. So yeah, there are other episodes, and to be honest, I want to lean into the solo episode bag. It's not just post production. It's also like finding guests, figuring out a time, sitting down, the inevitable reschedule or this or that, and blah, 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 blah. It'll take a week before and a week afterwards to bring this half an hour discussion into
Mm.
something. So I think starting small might also mean me sitting down at the mic and just recording for 10 minutes and just posting that shit as soon as I'm done.
Yeah, I think go for it. See what happens.
Yeah.
And I
What
don't
about
get
you?
the same question back. Okay, thank you. Jesus, she don't care. She doesn't. What about
I
me?
I did care, but not only do you never stop speaking when you ask me a question, you you also no, you ask me a question, then you talk for the next 5 minutes, and I forget what the question is. You then also harry me off things, so I don't even have time to breathe. So fix it in post prod. Yeah, since you're a beast.
You done? Okay. As for what I'm doing.
So no, seriously, what's happening? What's happening in Referential? Come
So I have my Trans Pride Brighton 2025 series coming up. I think at the moment it's looking like it's going to be 2 episodes. It might be 3. I'm excited about that one. It's basically going to be like I'm working on it. It's been like a really tough edit
on.
actually because I
Why?
basically have I have 60 clips from that day alone, and then I have about 4 different 2-hour recordings of like beatings, and just like I have a lot of content for it
Oh
that I'm
shit.
trying to that I've been like sequencing and like packaging and grouping, and it's basically like what I did for the similar episode last year, but like I'm trying to elevate it, and so I'm excited about that. But yeah, that'll be coming out soon, hopefully within the next couple of days, and then I'll probably be able to do the rest of those weekly until that series ends. I'm really excited about a new thing I'm doing, which is the mix episodes, which I am doing the thing I did with Miss Sunday, if you guys remember, where we're talking about Wicked, but we're going to be doing like a deep dive into an album that I love. And for the first of that series, I am talking to Dr. John Paul Higgins about Full Moon by Brandy, and that'll be coming out around when the tour starts, so around October, and that's a
Okay.
fucking great episode, and Dr. John Paul is like fucking amazing. So that was just a really fun time to record, and I cannot wait to share it with people. Aside from that, there's also a second part of the Real Housewives series with Lauren Warren. There's a lot of things. I have a lot on the deck that I'm excited to share. And yeah, there's also like the video for the Ancient Hatred that Victor's been working on, which is looking really gorgeous. And I'm really excited to share that because it's like a bit more of a documentary kind of thing. Yeah, no, there's a lot I'm working on. There's a lot I'm excited about. There's a lot that's going to be on the feed over the coming year. So I hope people like it.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I hope so. Plus,
I
whatever,
will. I'm gonna be there.
well, hopefully, people enjoy it. We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see what happens. And yeah, that's my little hype machine. Is there anything else?
Yeah.
Yay! And that ends whatever this episode is. I hope you guys got something from this. If you didn't, blame Ashley.
Learn from this.
His idea.
Learn from this.
And I will see you.
We have never rooted for a girl like this.
Can you let me do an outro? My God, Tyra. As I was saying, you can catch me on my feed on Referential. I am Dr. Khalid Nas. And you can catch Ashley on their feed on Exoverts. They are also known as Thunderbigs on the internet. So be on the lookout.
You old raggedy.
Kind regards. Love you guys. And yeah, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. We didn't even sing once this episode.
No.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ12. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ12 right now And support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.